Hey guys, welcome back to another realistic rebuild. This time we're going to be taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're going to do like an updated rebuild from now on after free agency. And I thought it would be a fun place to start with Jacksonville because they did have one of the more interesting signings in free agency, going after Nick Foles and just completely getting rid of Blake Bortles, which I 100% agree with. I don't know if Nick Foles is going to be the answer, but we're going to give it a shot. We're going to give him 5 years here in Jacksonville. I'm going to let him start every year, and we'll see what he can do. He's got decent accuracies. He's got decent throw power, so I'm hoping he can get the job done here. And I'm hoping he doesn't retire. He should only be about 33 when the rebuild's done. So he should be decent. Maybe he can still upgrade a little bit. We still have Leonard Fournette, D.D. Westbrook, Keelan Cole, and I did get Chris Conley as well because they also did go after him. I like him as a slot guy. He's a nice slot receiver in Madden here. I am going to put Marquez Lee here on the trade block. See if I can get a pick for him. I'm pretty sure I do have to give him a contract this year, and he usually wants a pretty decent sized one, and I definitely don't want to do that. So we'll see if we can't get anything for him. Offensive line, need a little bit of help. Left tackle's a little tough with a 74 overall. Right tackle's a 77 overall, but he's 32. So that's going to need to be redone. Can here at right guard is 26, so I don't know how well that's going to be. But our center and left guard should be able to last, hopefully, the whole rebuild. Defensively, I did put Malik Jackson here on the trade block because he's 28, and I want to give Brian, the rookie here, a chance at D-tackle with Marcel Darius. So yeah, I'm going to throw Jackson on the trade block. We still have Calais Campbell, Yannick Ngakoue, Jalen Ramsey, and AJ Boye. I'm hoping, well, I know Jalen Ramsey will be elite the whole rebuild, but AJ Boye is 27, so he's going to be about 32. He's going to start regressing a little bit, but I'm hoping he doesn't regress too badly. And then linebacking core, I really like it with Miles Jack here leading the squad. He's going to turn into a monster, hopefully. Do need to get some better safeties, though. I'm pretty sure Gibson is up in free agency this year. He's going to want a lot of money that I don't want to pay him. So safeties are going to be an issue that we're going to have to try to address probably right away. So that's what the squad is looking like. Let's go ahead and set the season goal. I'm going to say 9 wins. I think we can get 9 wins with Nick Foles starting here. Our receiving core isn't the best. Don't get me wrong. We have a lot of ways to go, but I'm hoping that we can get some decent yards for Nick Foles' first year here. Alright, so some trade offers have come in here. Malik Jackson is getting a hefty market, which he should, to be honest. Ooh, Cincinnati's willing to give up a second. I'm going to for sure take that. So they're going to get to pair Geno Atkins with Malik Jackson, which should be a nice matchup for him. Then Marquise Lee here. What's anybody offering me for him? He's 26. Ooh, another second from freaking Tennessee. Oh, nope. We're not trading in the division. Pittsburgh's probably the way to go. They just want another receiver to add with freaking AB up there. I'm pretty sure he's still up there right now in this rebuild. Let's go ahead and accept Pittsburgh. I think that's a decent offer. We'll get a second round for Marquise Lee, which I would accept. So we're going to get 2 second rounds out of these trades, which is going to really help us out. So we're going to be back here at midseason. We are sitting at a nice 5-3 here, which I'm very happy with. Start out 5-3 and lead the division here with Nick Foles is definitely the way to start. And as you can see, he's got an upgrade point here. So if Nick Foles starts upgrading, that could be really nasty. Players are going to have to negotiate with us. Go ahead and take a look. Our kicker, I mean, it's always good to have a decent kicker, but I'm not willing to give him a huge contract. TJ Yeldon, I'm okay with letting him go. Chris Conley, I would definitely like to bring him back, but that's a bit too hefty of a contract. Corey Grant, I'm going to let him go. Really? Yeah, probably nobody here I'm going to want to bring back. Going to probably let everybody go. There's no really big name free agents to re-sign this one. So yeah, I'm probably going to let a lot of these guys go, especially since we need to save our cap. Because we're going to have to end up giving a huge contract to Nick Foles, most likely, Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, it's going to be tough. We're going to have to save a lot of our cap for just re-signings. Alright, so we're here at the end of the year. No playoffs, which is a real tough pill to swallow. I mean, we finished 6-10, so we just tanked the second half of the season, which could be a problem, 100%. Let's go ahead and choose somebody to upgrade here. It's nice to see. Oh, wow. Okay, we're going with Chris Conley. I liked that signing of him. He's a nice slot guy. I did not think he would get 4 upgrade points in a year. That's pretty good. He must have had one monster year here in Jacksonville. I don't know if I re-signed him either, so I definitely need to get on that. I was waiting to see if he was going to have a good year. And I'd say if you have 4 upgrade points, you're probably going to be decent. So he's up to an 80 overall here. Should be a nice slot guy. I'm hoping to be able to keep him in the slot the rest of the rebuild. And yeah, you can see he's got decent stats. Defense, who do we want to upgrade here? Let's go ahead and upgrade Miles Jack. See if we can get him scheme fits. It's always nice to get him scheme fit. Yeah, Miles Jack always upgrades like a monster for me. I mean, when you start off with star development, it's tough not to upgrade pretty fast, to be honest. So he's going to be about an 87 overall. To be honest, I'd rather take that scheme fit than the upgrade point to go up one. Dang. I just have no luck with getting scheme fit, I feel. Oh, he went down to quick development, though. He lost a little bit of that development trade, unfortunately. So Colts won the division at 11-5. Nick Foles. Let's see what he did here. First year in Jacksonville. Oh, wow. That's not bad. About 4,000 yards, 35 TDs, 5 interceptions, 61% completion rate. I'll take that all day. Running the ball, Leonard Fournette, 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. I'll take that. Receiving the ball, Chris Conley led the team in receptions with 74. He had about 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns. 70 receptions by Keelan Cole, 650 yards, 4 touchdowns. 750 yards for Jenkins, 7 TDs. D.D. Westbrook, 65 receptions, 800 yards, 9 touchdowns. So our receiving core actually, they lit it up, if we're being honest here. Our wide receivers and tight end played well. So I'm wondering why we did so bad. Sacks allowed. Our offensive line wasn't horrible. Defense, we got 135 tackles by Miles Jack. We have 3 people that had over 100 tackles. 109 by Telvin Smith. 105 by Jalen Ramsey. Jesus. He's a corner. Sacks we get. Oh, wow. That's going to hurt us. We somehow struggle in the sack department. Don't ask me how. 5 sacks leads the team by Campbell. Interceptions we get 4 by Ramsey, 2 by Jack. And then a couple of 1 bombs here. So, I don't know. We had 21st in offensive yards, which is crazy. Because we had a 1,000-yard rusher and about a 4,000-yard passer. 31st in defense? Well, that'll do it for you. I mean, I guess it's saying we didn't play real well on defense, unfortunately. But let's go ahead and hop into the free agency period, see if we can get some good players. So we're going to be in free agency here, and there's not going to be a whole lot of good players. I mean, the highest overall is going to be an 87 overall receiver. So I'm going to offer a contract to pretty much just one player right now. I'm going to try to build our offensive line up a little bit. We don't have a right guard currently, so this would be a pretty decent signing. He's 27, so he might be able to upgrade a little bit, maybe a point or two, but if he can stay an 80 overall range throughout the rebuild, that would definitely be serviceable. I think that would be a big help. So let's go ahead and simulate forward here and see if he accepts it. He does. So our offensive lines, I mean, interiorly, we're decent, really good, but the tackles, they need some work for sure. Alright guys, we're going to be here in the draft. We do pick fairly high. We picked 7th overall after an unfortunate season to start it off, but we can really have our pick with who we want. A couple quarterbacks were taken off the board, but I'm thinking we stick with the offensive line theme. You know, we got a guard in free agency. We do need tackles for sure. So I think I'm going to go with Greg Little. I know he doesn't have the best combine, but his combine stats aren't the worst. I mean, he's got decent bench. So I think we're going to roll with him. He's got a mid-first round talent, and he's going to be a superstar left tackle. I don't think I've ever drafted a superstar offensive lineman. That's going to be massive. He's going to get some upgrade points this year. Oh, man, look who's available. Ja'Kai Polite or Rashawn Gary's both still available? That's really good. I don't know who to take. To be honest, whoever I take out of these is probably going to bounce into the defensive tackle spot. And we'll see what they can do. I do want to get a good pass rusher, though. So, man, it's real tough to pass on Rashawn Gary. I'm going to have to go with Polite here. We're going to get him. He's going to be a 76 overall with quick development. He's going to have decent power move. And I'm going to move him inside. So him and our other good defensive tackle should do work together. Well, with our other second round picks here, we still have 2 remaining. Man, I'm not going to lie. Safety help would be a huge help. And this safety, Marvel Tell the third, looks pretty decent. He's got a decent 40, pretty high in the bench. Good hit power. We're going to go with him. He's going to be a star with a 77 overall. And dude, so far we're out here drafting freaking gems. Are you kidding me? This has got to be one of the better drafts I've had just to start. I mean, we've drafted some serious gems to start this. Man, this middle linebacker isn't real bad. I know we don't need middle linebacker help, but I wouldn't mind bouncing this guy either to the left side or the right side, whichever side we need him more at. Because he's a decent linebacker. You're not very rarely going to find a linebacker that has decent zone coverage, tackling, and block shed. So that is pretty rare, especially when he puts up a decent combine. I mean, if you run a 4.6 and put up 25 reps, that's going to be pretty decent, dude. He's, oh, wow, though. How is he only a 71 overall? He's got not bad awareness either. I'm not sure why his overall is so low. But either way, he's most likely going to start on our team, either on the left side or the right side. But with the last pick I do show you guys here, we do need to go right tackle. There's not a whole lot of good talent left on the board, to be honest, here for the right side. So I think I'm going to have to take a reach here, and I think it could be a good one. I mean, Joseph Stimke here, he has a decent 40. I know he's an agile guy, but he still put up 31 in the bench reps, which isn't bad at all, and he's got a decent skill set from what we can see at the bottom. So we're going to draft him. 74 overall. I think it's better than anybody I already have. 83 strength isn't the best, but I mean, he's got decent all-around stats, good impact block, decent run block, good pass block. So I think he's going to be a nice tackle for us, and hopefully he can upgrade a little bit, but I don't know how much with only normal development trait. But I am going to go ahead and hop right into next season, unless, of course, I do find a gem here later in the draft. So we're going to be here at the start of year 2, and I'd say we did a pretty good job. It was really important that we went out and got some good players in the draft, because we're not going to have a lot of cap at all. We're going to have some real big player contracts that we're going to have to try and take care of. But like, we're going to have to resign Jalen Ramsey. There's a lot of things going on here. So we had to have a good draft, and I think we really did have a good draft. We went out and got Greg Little here as a 77 overall superstar left tackle. Cam Robinson's going to start at right tackle, and to be honest, I'm not too mad at that. He's a 76 overall with quick development. I have him on focus training. He's got a decent skill set, so I think he can end up being the franchise right tackle that I want him to be. Interiorly, I really like where we're at as well. We're definitely going to be one of the highest paid O-lines, though. Running backs, we still have 4 nets. Nick Foles played good last year. Receivers, I like where we are. I'm just hoping that we can hit a little bit of an upgrade stage here for our receivers, and they can get near that 90 overall range. Chris Conley's still going to be playing the slot. I just wanted to give him some more balls here, so he's going to be the second receiver, but he's still going to be the slot guy for us. And then Keelan Cole here is going to be the third guy. Defense, I really like where we're at. I thought Ja'Kai Polite was going to start, but to be honest, Tavon Bryan was a better version of him. He had a better strength rating, he had decent, better power moves, about the same finesse moves. So I feel like Bryan here can really turn into a monster if we start upgrading his pass rush ability. We still have Marcel Darius, Calais Campbell, Yannick Ngakoue. Cornerbacks are still really good with Jalen Ramsey, AJ Bouye. I am going to throw it to Sean Gibson on the trade block. He's got a massive cap hit. As you guys can see here, if we were to release him, we'd free 3, but he's got a bigger cap hit than that, I'm pretty sure. So we're going to put him on the trade block, and I feel pretty confident that Harrison and Marvin Tell III can be good safeties for us. Linebackers, we still got Miles Jack, the rookie, Wilson, and then Telvin Smith here. So I'm liking the way we're looking right now. That is going to be it here, though, for the preview of the team. Let's go ahead and set our season goal. I think we're going to make the playoffs this year for sure. We got a good squad coming up here, and let's go ahead and see if we get any trade offers here for the safety, and if not, we'll go straight to midseason. So we are going to get quite a few offers here for Gibson, and I'm not surprised about that. The Packers are willing to give up a first-round pick, and that's something that I'm not really going to be able to pass on, if we're being honest here. That's in 2 drafts, though. Do you think I'll even need a first in 2 drafts? Well, if not, I can always trade it, so no way I'm going to pass that up. I'm going to take Green Bay up on their offer. We're going to trade Gibson here for a first-round pick in 2 years, and that can potentially be used, in a trade of some sort. But either way, we get a first here for Gibson, which is a steal. Sitting here at midseason at 4-3, which is a bit of a rough start, but it's what's to be expected here. We're trying to rebuild this team. Offensive line's getting some upgrades, which is always nice to see. Must mean we're running the ball quite well. Oh wow, the Texans are 7-1? Hello? Are you kidding? Alright, dude, that's going to be tough to match. 7-1. Let's go ahead and check out the players we're going to have to negotiate with. Jalen Ramsey. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is the year that we're going to pretty much spend all of our cap. We're going to have to re-sign Nick Foles. Good Lord. All right, this is literally all of our cap because we're going to have to re-sign Nick Foles, Keelan Cole, Safarian Jenkins. I want to bring him back. Yannick Ngakoue, yes. Miles Jack, yes. And Jalen Ramsey, yes. So we're going to re-sign a lot of good players here, and it's going to be a huge cap hit, but we'll see if we can get the job done. So we end up making the playoffs at the wild card. We finished 10-6, which is good to be in the playoffs at least. We're going to be playing the Ravens, which should be a nice matchup. Let's go ahead and see how the squad performed. Oh my goodness. Our left tackle has 6 upgrade points. I don't think I've ever had an offensive lineman have 6 upgrade points. That's insane for sure. Our free safety's got 4 upgrade points, so that was a great decision to trade Tashawn Gibson there, because we ended up getting a first for him. That's an insane upgrade points right there. We finished 10-6, ended up winning the division. The Texans must have just wet the bed there towards the end of the year, because they started off real hot. Kyler Murray wins the MVP for the Giants. See if we're in the conversation here. And we are not, of course. Let's go ahead and check out our stats, though. See what Nick Foles did. So we did resign Nick Foles to a long-term contract. 3,600 yards, 37 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Way too high for my liking, but see if we can cut down a bit on that. Running the ball, Leonard Fournette, 1,200 yards, about 6 touchdowns here. Carlos Hyde was a nice backup. Receiving the ball, 77 receptions, 1,000 yards, and 10 touchdowns for Chris Conley. Safarian Jenkins here, 600 yards, 9 TDs. D.D. Westbrook, 600 yards, 9 touchdowns. Keelan Cole had a down year with 500 yards and no touchdowns. I wanted to let you guys know, I did not end up re-signing him. I wanted to see how he did perform. And with how he performed, I'm definitely going to let him go and test free agency. Leonard Fournette did decent from the receiving game. Blocking, it looked like we didn't do well. Yeah, we didn't do well at all. So, but we do have a lot of upgrade points to work with for our offensive line, so hopefully we can fix that. Tackles, we get 129 from Miles Jack, 107 by the Ruck Mac Wilson. AJ Boye with 87. Sacks, we get 8 by Marcel Darius, 5 by Ngakoue, 4 by Mac Wilson, 3 by Polite. And then interceptions here, we get 5 by Ramsey, 3 by Boye, 3 by the free safety Harrison, 2 by Hayden, and then 1 by Jack here. So a good overall year by our team. Nick Foles struggled a little bit though with interceptions. I'm hoping that can fix once we start upgrading our offensive line and maybe get him an elite receiver. But let's go ahead and hop right into it here, taking on the Ravens. Alright guys, starting off in the playoffs here in year 2, we're going to be taking on the Ravens. We're going to play a whole home game though, so we'll go ahead and see if we get the job done. We got 9 points on the board. And we got 16 now? Come on, stop Jacksonville. Dude, we got a really nice defense. Alright, it's a low-scoring affair. We're up by 10, though, so I'm feeling safe about this. We got the ball, and that might just be the dagger right there. 33-13. We just kind of roll over the Ravens, which is very surprising. Their defense is top-notch, and Lamar Jackson tends to be a monster in the Madden. So he had 26 of 40, In there, 2 picks by Lamar Jackson. Let's see how Nick Foles plays. 23 of 31, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Again, we're probably not going to ask a real lot of Nick Foles. We're going to run the ball a lot. As you can see, 29 carries by Fournette, but he does get 122 yards and 2 touchdowns. So if he can continue to do this in the playoffs, I think we're going to be a tough team to stop. Let's go ahead and see. We're going to be playing in the divisional round. We're going to be taking on Pittsburgh in the divisional round. They're 11-5, and I'm a bit surprised because usually Pittsburgh struggles in the sim. So we'll see what they can do here. We get up 10. We know Jacksonville usually does have Pittsburgh's number, though, as Pittsburgh scores, but so do we. We're tied up, and they must have turned it over. 24-17, 31-17. Pittsburgh needs to answer, but we keep on answering back. Nick Foles is coming up clutch. Oh, no. Oh, he hits the field goal. It's overtime right now. No. Yes, we win it. What a game, dude. Oh, my God. That was outrageous. What? I thought we had a defense here, bro. We allow Pittsburgh to just go off on us. But Nick Foles, playoff time, he knows what time it is. He knows it's that win time. And he goes 42, throws the ball 58 times, 550 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Did we run well? Oh, we still ran it decent. 31 attempts, 127 yards by Fournette. And we are going to be moving on to the AFC Conference Championship. And I think Tom Brady should be retired, hopefully. So we'll go ahead and see who we're going to be playing. I'm curious. I'm wondering who it's going to be. So we're going to be playing the Chargers here. And this, I don't know, dude. This matchup is a little rough. I'm not expecting this to be real great for us. The Chargers, they score 3. We got to get touchdowns, though. We have got to. Because I don't know if our defense can stop the Chargers. I really don't. I mean, look how fast these guys can score. I mean, that's just insane. I need to stop, though, defense. You're going to have to help. We get the lead late. No, the Chargers win it. Oh, my God, dude. Really? Oh. Dude, I thought that was the year for real. But Phillip Rivers just torched us up. Man, we allow 38. What's our corners doing? Like AJ Boye and Jalen Ramsey. Well, I mean, we've learned that Nick Foles is going to be our quarterback. That's what we've learned. Because once it comes to playoff time, he plays very well. I mean, he only has a 60% completion rate, but 2 touchdowns to 1 interceptions, 300 yards. He's been reliable. Running the ball, we've ran well. Our defense has just got to get better during the playoffs. I mean, that's what it is. You can't allow Phillip Rivers to throw 4 touchdowns and expect to win. I mean, you really can't. So that's going to do it for year 2 here. Let's go ahead and hop into some free agency and see who's going to be available. All right, guys, I was trying to get a trade done for a receiver, but nobody was having it, so I couldn't go out and get an elite receiver. So I was thinking Marcel Darius has hit the regression block quite badly. He's down to an 80 overall. So I really do want to get a nice defensive tackle. So I'm going to go after Grady Jarrett. I really do like him up there in Atlanta. So we're going to try to give up a first-round pick and Marcel Darius, which is probably a bit high. But with that 94 overall, that would greatly help out our D-line. So we're going to try and get this done. We do get it done. This is our first-round pick for this year. It's not really a big worry because we did pick so late. So it was pretty much like a second-round pick anyway. So we give up a first-round pick in Marcel Darius, and we do end up getting Grady Jarrett. It was also a good idea to trade Marcel Darius because he had a huge cap hit. He had like 10 mil cap hit. So, yeah, I traded him, and now we got Grady Jarrett. I was trying to trade Telvin Smith, but nobody really wanted to give up much for him. So we get the job done here, and we get a nice defensive tackle. So after that trade here, we're going to be in free agency. There are some decent names available, but I'm going to only offer a couple contracts here. So my negotiations are going to be Emmanuel Ogbah, who is going to replace Calais Campbell. I'm looking to get rid of him. He's regressing. He's not being very productive in the stats. He's not getting many sacks. So looking to move on from him and bring in a young Emmanuel Ogbah, who should be able to hold that side down over there. And then bring in Albert Wilson as well. because we did lose Keelan Cole, so we're going to need some receiver help, and we know Albert Wilson's really good in the slot. So I think this receiving core, it's not going to be top tier, but it'll get the job done. I was trying to make some trades for an elite receiver, but nobody was having it, so we're just going to have to try to do some trade block stuff. But yeah, I'm looking to get these two guys. I'm hoping they accept it, because that would fill some pretty decent-sized holes on our squad. They both do accept it. So we get Emmanuel Ogbah and Albert Wilson. So look for us to move Telvin Smith and Calais Campbell, because they're both got a decent cap hit, but they're starting to regress a little bit. So I just don't see the upside of keeping them long term. Doing a quick draft recap here, I kind of whiffed on this draft. I didn't get a lot of good players late in the draft. I took a couple chances, but I did get one player that's really going to help us out. In the second round, I got him real late. Parker Donhai here is going to be an 80 overall quarterback, which should fetch a very nice price on the trade block or just in the market. If I'm looking to trade for a specific player, I might try to pull together a trade before the season starts here. But yeah, an 80 overall quarterback, second round late is really good. So I'm hoping he has a nice price if we can maybe get a receiver to help out Nick Foles here. But yeah, he's definitely not going to start over Nick Foles. This rebuild is going to be kind of circled around Nick Foles so we can see what he's going to do in Jacksonville. Alright, before the season starts, we're going to try to put together another trade here. I want to go after DJ Moore. I think that would be a nice receiver here to get for Foles. So I'm willing to give up that rookie quarterback we did draft along with Telvin Smith, but it's almost there. We're going to have to give up a little bit more though. So let's go ahead and I don't think it's worth a first, but since we're already giving up a quarterback and a right outside linebacker, so what would a second round look like? So if we give up a second round pick with all these other players, it is accepted. So we give up the quarterback, Telvin Smith, and a second round pick, and we are able to trade for DJ Moore, which I think is greatly going to improve our receiving core. The only problem I was not looking forward to is we're going to have to end up re-signing DJ Moore in the 4th year, and that's going to be a lot of cap hit. Alright, so here in year 3, we did do a couple of trades. I think I'm going to do more trades in my rebuilds, especially since there's so many trades going on IRL that are just insane. I really think anybody can be traded now, so I think we're going to start doing more of that to keep it kind of IRL related. But let's go ahead and take a look at the roster in year 3. Our offensive line is shaping up really nicely. I mean, it was a tough start, but our offensive line is upgraded well. We still have a good tight end in Jenkins. I really love the trade we did for DJ Moore. We didn't have to give up much for him, and we're able to actually clear out a little bit of cap. So we got more. We have D.D. Westbrook and Chris Conley, who's going to be playing the slots. Leonard Fournette's doing well. Nick Foles is still sitting at that 80 overall. And then defensively, I like the way we're looking on the defensive line, especially. We have Yannick Ngakoue, Emmanuel Ogbah. I'm still trying to trade Calais Campbell, but I don't know if anybody's going to... Actually, he's not on the block, but now I should start getting offers for him. I like our defensive tackle spot with Grady Jarrett and Tavon Bryan. Cornerbacks, we still have Jalen Ramsey, A.J. Boye. Safeties are still pretty good. I really like the move of trading away our free safety. Now we have Harrison and Marvin Tell the third. Linebacking core, we have a bit of a hole on the outside linebacker side. Not the left side because Wilson is still only in his 2nd year, but the right side there's a bit of a hole after trading away Telvin Smith, but we still do have Miles Jack here as well. So our team is looking pretty good. As you can see, we got a 91 overall defense and 87 overall offense. I think our offense should be a little bit higher. I mean, we have an elite receiver now, so maybe they're thinking the quarterback is only an 80 overall, but either way, our team is looking like it's going to make a run for it. So we're going to set our season goal to make the playoffs. Let's go ahead and simulate to the midseason mark, unless I do get some trade offers coming in here for Campbell. So we do end up having quite a few trade offers come in for Calais Campbell. Actually, about 5 different teams are interested. And I'm going to have to roll with the Patriots. I mean, they're willing to give up a first-round pick, and if it comes down to it, we can always use that as a little bit of trading value. So we're going to trade Campbell here, and we're going to get a first-round pick out of it. I think it's next year's, not this coming up year's first-round pick, though. But I always wanted to trade Campbell here this last year because he just has such a big cap hit that I did not know about. He has like a $13 million cap hit, which is insane. I don't want to pay that much. So we get rid of him, and we get a first round out of it. Back here at midseason, we're 3-4, so that's a little disappointing. I thought we'd be off to a way hotter start than that. The whole division is, I mean, Colts are 4-2, Texans are 4-3. I'm a little surprised that we're down here at 4-3, though. For real, I don't get that at all. In year 3, that's a little concerning, to say the least. Players we're going to have to negotiate with, though. We're going to have a bit more cap, I do believe. Let's go ahead and check out our cap situation. Yeah, we got a lot of cap. Now that we got rid of some of those players. So Leonard Fournette's coming back. D.D. Westbrook has got to come back. I want to bring back Cam Robinson. And besides that, I'm probably going to let everybody else go. So those main 3 players there, they're going to come back. And we're still going to be in a decent cap situation after getting rid of those hefty contracts. Well, we missed the playoffs, and somehow we finished 5-11. Oh my God, dude, how do we finish 5-11? Are you kidding? That's really, it's honestly insane. I cannot believe we finished 5-11. Let's go ahead and hit the upgrades on one player on each side here. We're going to go ahead and upgrade Nick Foles, get a little bit of deep accuracy. I'm hoping this isn't Nick Foles' doing. You know, he had a bad year. Hoping he had a decent year. Let's go ahead and stick to upgrading the defensive tackle. I always like to get a good speed rusher defensive tackle. It ends up being very useful. So we get some power move there. Let's go ahead and upgrade speed rusher again. Get scheme fit for Taven Bryan here. He's going to get some block shed, finesse, and power. That's actually a very good upgrade. So he's a decent now. I mean, the play rack and awareness is going to be real painful, but besides that, he's a decent player. Colts won the division at 11-4, unfortunately. Man, it looked like Nick Foles had a pretty horrible year. Let's go ahead and check out the annual awards, though. MVP, I mean. And we're not in the conversation, unfortunately, there. Let's go ahead and check out the stats. This is going to be tough if it's Nick Foles' problem. 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. That's tough. It really is. I don't know what to say about that. Running the ball, Leonard Fournette had a decent year, about 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns. Receiving the ball, DJ Moore comes in and leads the team in receptions with 72. About 900 yards and 5 TDs. 600 yards for D.D. Westbrook, a touchdown. Safarian Jenkins, 505. Chris Conley, about 1,009. Blocking the ball, do we hold up well? Oh, wow. What? Left tackle allows 20 sacks, and our left guard allowed 15. Well, that's going to be a huge reason why we didn't do well. I don't even get that. 140 tackles by Miles Jack. 117 by Wilson there. Sacks here, we got 5. Sacks, we're struggling out here. 5.5 by Agba, 4 by Ngakwe, 2.5 by Jarrett. Yeah, we're struggling in that department for sure. 3 picks by Ramsey, 2 by Jack, 2 by AJ Boye, and then a couple of 1 bombs by the safeties. So, not a successful season in the least bit. I mean, we're giving Nick Foles all 5 years for sure, because Jacksonville did pick him up. But I'm hoping that we can have a bounce back year, because that's insane how poor our offensive line played there. So in free agency, I mean, look at all the running backs available. There's like 8 running backs available here that are pretty decent. So it's going to be just, that's insane. I've never seen that many running backs available. I'm not going to negotiate, though, with a couple of players here. I'm going to offer Kendall Beck with a contract. I'm really going to try to shore up our outside linebacking core in just one offseason. So we're going to go after Beckwith. I'm going to go after Justin Houston. I know he's 32. He wants a hefty contract, and I think it's worth it. I mean, he's still got decent stats. He's an 82 overall. He's going to regress a little bit, but I don't think he's going to regress so badly that he's going to be, like, useless to us. I think he's going to be a pretty decent player, especially just playing an outside linebacker role in a 4-3. He's not going to have to rush the passer nearly as much. And when we do send him in on some blitzes, he should get through quite easily, considering he's a decent pass rusher. He's got decent tackling, good block shedding, nice speed, good hit power. So I think this is a good person to replace the whole Telvin Smith did leave. And then I'm going to go after cornerback. I know you guys are probably wondering why would I do that, but I mean, why not? Get a good slot guy here. like Conley and see what happens. I might actually start Conley over Boye and put Boye in the slot because Conley is probably a faster corner with his speed being, let's see here. I mean, yeah, he's got a 93 speed, so he's for sure going to probably start over Boye, and then we'll put Boye in the slots. So let's go ahead and see if we get any of these players, and I'm really hoping we do. We get all three of them, so we get Beckwith, Houston, and Conley, so our freaking defense is going to be just nasty next year. So doing a draft recap here, we go after a right end just for a little bit of depth. Not a lot of people are going to start here, to be honest. Our roster's kind of built right now. We don't need a whole lot of positions, and the players we do need are probably going to be most likely like superstars. So these guys are going to be backups, but Kratos should get a little bit of playing time rushing the passer. I did draft another quarterback in case we want to attempt a trade later in the rebuild because we're in year 4 coming up, so maybe year 5 we need to make a panic trade or something. And other than that, not really anything of value. But these first 2 players are pretty decent. We get an 80 overall speed rusher and a 79 overall quarterback. So we're here in year 4 and we're looking pretty decent. Our offensive line is definitely upgrading well. They're sitting pretty nice. Craig Little's already up to an 89 overall. Safarian Jenkins is upgrading. Our receiving core is nice with DJ Moore, Westbrook, and Chris Conley. Leonard Fournette's up to an 87 overall. Nick Foles hanging around at that 80 overall range. Defensively, it's pretty decent. I mean, we went out and really addressed our issues and got them fixed right away. In this 4th year in the offseason, we have Yannick Ngakoue, Grady Jarrett, and Tavon Bryan, Emmanuel Ogbah. Linebacking core was pretty questionable, to be honest, but we had Miles Jack, but we went out and signed Beckwith and Justin Houston. Justin Houston's going to be a pass rusher for us in some situations, so he should get some decent sacks. Cornerbacks, we went out and got Conley, so now AJ Boye is going to be playing the slot for us, which should be very nice. We have some elite corners out here. Safeties, we got Harrison and Marvin Tell as well, so we're looking pretty talented on really all sides of the ball. I'm hoping, this year is the year. It's the 4th year, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. I mean, we got an all-around great squad, and I think we really could compete for a Super Bowl this year. Dude, there's something going on here. We're 2-5. We're going to have to, change the scheme up or some crap, because I don't understand how we're 2-5. Really? I don't even get it. I'm going to change ourselves to a spread offense. I don't know why. I guess I haven't done that. A spread offense, I know we're not going to have any scheme fit for it, but a spread offense seems to work better. You seem to be more balanced running the ball and passing it. So we're going to stick with that, and we'll see what happens here. I just can't believe we're 2-5. That's so ridiculous. So we're going to have to re-sign DJ Moore, AJ Boye, Ronnie Harrison, and Tavon Bryan, and that's going to be it. Well, we don't make the playoffs here. We finish a terrifically bad 6-10, which is, I don't get it. How do you finish 6-10? Oh man, that's annoying. I don't get that. I don't know how we have some stacked squad out here, and that's what we finished. Let's go ahead and check out the stats though for the year. 4,000 yards, 25 TDs, 15 interceptions by Foles, and I mean, to be honest, Foles has struggled a bit. 1,100 yards for Fournette, 11 touchdowns. Receiving the ball, 82 receptions leads the team for DJ Moore. 950 yards, 4 touchdowns. 700 yards, 5 touchdowns. 600 yards, 5 touchdowns for D.D. Westbrook. Chris Conley, 800 yards, 7 TDs. Blocking the ball, how do we hold up? Our left tackle's struggling, and if you could tell me why our offensive line is struggling, I'd really like to know. Because we have one of the better offensive lines that I think I ever have had. Sacks, we get 8.5 by Grady Jarrett, 8.5 by Ogbah, 7.5 by Houston. I mean, look at this. The first year we're starting to get pressure as well. We don't do good. So I'm really curious as to why we're just not doing good. Conley here with 4 interceptions, 3 by Jack, 2 by Harrison, 2 by Ramsey, and then a couple of 1-bombs here. So that's going to do it for the end of the year. I'm not going to hop into free agency. I'm not going to have any money. I'm broke, bro. I got no cap. So we're just going to hop right into a draft recap real quick, and we'll go straight into year 5. So doing a draft recap here, I go after a tight end just to get a little bit of depth there, see if we can get another target here for Foles. And other than that, really nobody else is going to start. So, yeah, the tight end we get is going to be decent. He's got okay catching traffic, but his other stats aren't the best. He only has 74 speed. But, yeah, there's not a whole lot of players we need right now. Our team is pretty stacked, so we're not going to really find anybody in the draft that's going to start. So let's go ahead and hop right into year 5. Year 5 is here, so let's go ahead and set the season goal. We know what time it is. It's Super Bowl or bust. I feel like I find myself here every freaking rebuild. But our offense is basically the same. Got the same offensive line here. Still the same tight end. Same receivers. I did put Chris Conley here over D.D. Westbrook. Maybe he has a breakout year. Leonard Fournette and Nick Foles, of course. Defensively, I did lose A.J. Boye. I was not able to re-sign him. But Conley should fill that role nicely. But that's still a rough person to lose this late in the rebuild. I just didn't have enough money. Safeties are working out for us. Linebackers are still decent. And defensive line is still pretty good. So I really think we should make the playoffs. I just don't get why we haven't been making the playoffs here. I mean, especially last year. As you can see, we have a 93 overall defense, and it says we only have an 89 overall offense, which I really don't believe. I mean, I think we have a bit of a better one. Maybe the quarterback's bringing it down a little bit, but this is Nick Foles last year, so we'll see if he can bring a championship here to Jacksonville. Let's go ahead and simulate straight to the end of the season. I'm not going to check back here at the midway point because I'm not going to need to resign anybody because we're in the last year here, year 5. So before we hit that simulation, if you guys have been enjoying this episode, make sure you hit that sub button. That would be greatly appreciated. Alright, so, oh yikes, dude. We just don't make the playoffs year 5? Sure, Madden, sure. Makes a lot of sense to me, it really does. Oh, good God. We finished 6-10? I mean, this is kind of how you know Madden's a bit broken, to be honest. How? I mean, I don't know. I really don't. It looks like Nick Foles had a good year as well. I mean, he had an amazing year. Let's not say good. He had an amazing year. 4,300 yards, 39 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Running the ball, 1,200 yards, 6 TDs by Fournette. Receiving the ball, I mean, just went off everywhere. Blocking, did we hold up? Held up. Defense, did you let me down? I mean, 126 tackles by Jack, 109 by Conley. Sacks, we get 8.5 by Garrett, 8 by Emmanuel Ogbah, 6 by Yannick Ngakoue. Interceptions, I guess we struggled to get picks. Let's see, we finished 7th in offensive yards. Let's see what we finished in defensive. 29th, which doesn't make sense to me at all. We were 12th in points scored. What were we in points allowed here? 29th. Okay, well, not too sure what to think about that. Let me know what you guys thought of the rebuild. It sucks that we did not make the playoffs there. I don't get it at all. Did you see the year Nick Foles had? That's insane. How we didn't make the playoffs when he had a year like that. That's a shame. It really is. It would have been fun to see what he could have done in the last year here, but that's going to do it for this rebuild, guys. Let me know any suggestions you guys want to see next, like who you want to see for maybe an IRL rebuild, like after free agency is done, maybe the Browns, since I got Odell. That would be a fun rebuild. Just let me know who you want to see next down in the comment section below, and I hope you guys did enjoy this episode. I will see you guys next time. Peace out.